There is a skill repository called Ponytail that got a lot of attention because it tries to make my agents write less code. When I first looked at it, that made sense to me, because this is a problem I have been thinking about a lot. I want to lean into agentic software development as much as I can, but one thing gets in the way. I ask my agents for something simple, and they sometimes turn it into a multi-layered system. That is not really a workflow trust issue, it is a model trust issue, and that affects the workflow. Even with strong frontier models, I still cannot always trust the outcome as much as I would like. So the promise of Ponytail was immediately appealing. If there is a way to make my agents stop overbuilding, I want to try that. So I installed it and started using it. I even went so far as to install the hook. After using it for a few days, something landed for me. I had seen a possible solution, read the README, thought it sounded useful, and installed it. But I had not really stopped to understand what it was doing. Besides the obvious point that installing things without thinking is a bad habit, there is a more subtle problem. Extra instructions can be more harmful than they look. They can push the model in the wrong direction, add more context for the model to ingest, and make the setup more complicated. Then, almost at the same moment, I ran into the Scott Logic article. It basically confirmed what I had started thinking. We are seeing skill repositories use text files and instructions to solve problems software developers have already dealt with for a long time. When you open the actual Ponytail skill, the content might sound familiar, at least for some of us. Check whether the thing needs to exist. Reuse code that is already there. Use the platform. Use the standard library. Do less, but do not drop safety, validation, accessibility, or error handling. The Scott Logic article makes that connection pretty directly. It links Ponytail to YAGNI. You aren't going to need it. But YAGNI is easy to misunderstand. It does not mean write the fewest lines or skip the boring quality stuff. It means solve the current problem cleanly. Even though this idea already existed, I think it matters more now than it did before. Before agents, adding unnecessary complexity had friction. Now the model can add that complexity almost instantly, and you still have to review the extra code afterward. A few skill repositories have become very popular. Ponytail is one example. Matt Pocock has a skills repo. Superpowers is another one. Those are usually the repositories I end up noticing. They show up, they look interesting, and they make me want to see what is going on. Scott Logic looked at the benchmark and found that a much smaller instruction could get much of the same result in their test. And yes, all of this is non-deterministic. It is hard to say exactly what works and what does not, because the same model can behave differently across tasks, repos, and runs. I am not trying to say that Ponytail is bad, or that the benchmarks do not matter. What I'm trying to get at is simpler. Do not just install these skills and add them to your already massive custom instructions without thinking about it. This is where I think Matt Pocock is a useful contrast. He is very clearly an educator, and he tries to explain his skills pretty well. That still does not mean you should just use them, but it does more of what I think these repositories should do. Help you learn how to use agents better, and connect that to basic programming principles. So before installing the next trending skill, I think it is better to slow down and read it. Try to understand what it is trying to achieve. Try to understand where that idea might come from. Then ask whether you can reproduce the useful part without installing the whole skill. Maybe you can just nudge your agent in that direction yourself. Maybe you can write a smaller, local instruction in your own language. Maybe you can decide that the repo is useful, but only after you understand what it is adding. That gives you two benefits. You understand the idea better, and you may add less extra context to your agent. That is the main point of the video. Skills are not the problem. Copying them without understanding them is. If you have tried Ponytail, Matt's Skills, Superpowers, or anything similar, I would love to hear how you think about this. Did it actually help, or did it mostly add more instructions? And if there is another repository, workflow, or agent setup you want me to look into, leave it in the comments.